The common cold, okay? There was, after the end of the Second World War, there was a research unit set up on Salisbury Plain in England. It was set up in an old hospital that had been given to the Brits by the Americans called the Harvard Hospital, because it was a grant from Harvard University and from the American Red Cross. And they set up a thing called the Common Cold Research Institute. And what they did is firstly, nobody had isolated the rhinoviruses that cause the common cold. The trick there was nobody had worked out that because they're in the nose and they don't go deep, they grow at a lower temperature. So when people worked out that, they started to isolate these viruses. They did all sorts of experiments, and they used people like you guys. It was particularly university students who were on vacation. This was Britain in the 1950s. There wasn't much money around. They would give them a free paid vacation, sitting in little cabins on Salisbury Plain, and they would spray viruses on them, or they would sit them out in deck chairs and spray water on them to see if they get a chill. And there's some very interesting video of that. They worked out that, getting a chill doesn't give you an infection. Kissing someone doesn't usually, unless it's EBV and you get kissing disease, mononucleosis. And in the end, they decided that there were just so many of these things, there were more than 100 viruses, that you couldn't make a vaccine. So the question then is, firstly, as you say now, all we have is symptomatic treatment. Now, I think, though, we could identify the different classes of viruses, not just as individual viruses, but classes of viruses, and see if we can find vulnerable molecular targets for developing antivirals.